Good morning, everybody. It is Monday, August 24th. I believe this is the 21st week of my furlough, and I've got a little bit of news about that. I got a text last week saying, would you please come back to work on September 8th, which is the Tuesday after Labor Day, which my initial reaction was, not till September? Wow. But then I realized that's only about 2 weeks away, so good news is I'm going back to work. One thing that means is I've got 2 weeks to still be in my home studio doing everything that I've been doing for the last 5 months, which I thoroughly have enjoyed. Producing these videos, shooting stock, and yeah, so we're gonna produce some videos this week. We're gonna start right here with a video on fixing some things in the studio. If you watched my last video, you saw I had a couple of glitches shooting product in the studio, and we're going to fix those today. All right, so the first problem that I ran into is as soon as I put this quick release onto the bottom of my camera, I immediately got in the way of the door that allows me to get to the SD card. So I could look at the photo on the back of the camera, but I couldn't like enlarge it or see it on a screen without taking that memory card out, putting it in the computer, which is not the end of the world to do it that way. However, in order to get to it, once this thing is mounted, I've got to take the camera off the studio stand, take this off, which means I disrupt the entire scene. And if everything isn't the way I want it, I got to then put it all back and get back to where I was. So that's a problem. Easy fix for that is just shoot either tethered, a wire over to the computer, or shoot via Bluetooth to another device, which allows me to see it without disrupting this. So we're going to get that done today. Now, the other issue that I was having was when I had the camera set at the proper exposure for the strobes to go off, looking through the camera or through the EVF, all I saw was darkness because that was set at an exposure that was underexposed for just the ambient light, which I wasn't exposing for the ambient light, but it would have been nice to be able to see the image while I'm just looking through the camera. Now, I had a comment from a viewer from the last video, a guy named Rich. Rich dropped a fabulous comment. He said I should be able to correct that by going into preview, exposure / white balance. He said you'll find it under the user settings, under screen settings. And so I went into that menu. He was exactly right. I simply turned that off, and regardless of whatever I've got the exposure set for, the EVF is viewing as if I'm almost looking through the OVF, just looking through the little viewfinder window. So that should correct that problem. Rich, thanks for that. That was a big deal as a studio shooter or even a portrait shooter or whatever. If I've got it set on something that the ambient light isn't allowing me to view through it, that was quite a hindrance. So we're going to correct those two things, and we're going to do kind of an artsy image today. And implement those two things to make sure we get past those two hurdles. So thanks for watching. Stick around. Going to be a fun shoot, as always. So I've got kind of an odd shot to do today. I've got this little pyramid-looking weight thing. I don't know if it's a fishing deal or what. Somehow I had it in my prop box. I've had it for a long time. I always thought it was kind of neat. Thought maybe I could do a photo with it someday. So today's the day I thought I would do that. This little weight thing, thought I'd spin it around on a string, have it make some designs through some salt, do a really harsh directional light, do some shadow, fun stuff. Let me show you real quick. I think very easily we've solved the first issue. I have got the camera set at 2/50th of a second, f11, if you can see that, f11, 2/50th of a second, 160 ISO. So as I look through here, typically with this small amount of light coming through ambient, I would not be able to see through the EVF. However, with one little setting, I can see through there just fine. Take the photograph, and then that's what I get as far as a photographic exposure with the strobe. But that's what I can see through the EVF, which makes my life a whole lot easier in terms of composing and focusing and all that kind of stuff. So problem number 1 solved. problem number 2 solved. Shooting to the Fujifilm app, piece of cake. I can actually control it from the app. I can shoot from the app. If you couldn't tell, that's what I was doing. Certainly can scroll through and see all of the images and make changes as I need. Don't have to take the camera off the stand anymore. Can see through it. Now let's just get this thing to look really pretty, get the lighting tweaked, and make some kind of artsy shot today. The trick is getting it to make a nice pattern in the salt. So there you have it. Not my favorite shot of all times, but it was fun, a little bit different than what I normally do, and it was fun just to kind of test that out. But the important thing is I solved 2 problems in the studio, which will be greatly helpful in the future. Thanks again to Rich for his amazing comment. That was a lifesaver, big help. So appreciate that. And last thing before I go, guys, like I said before, I'm going back to work on September 8th. That will be 5 full months of furlough, and during that whole 5 months, although I wasn't working full-time, I was in this studio here at the house doing stock photography and making these videos and trying to keep myself busy, trying to not get stagnant for sure. And if I wasn't going to go back to the job that I normally had, I wanted to be building and producing something here. So I'm going to ask one thing of you guys. I know I can't really set a goal to get subscribers because that's not on me, that's on you. My job is just to produce videos that hopefully you'll like. But it would be super cool if we could double the subscribers in the 5-month period that I was furloughed. Now, I'm pretty sure when I started, I had 61 subscribers. So if we could get to 122, that would be pretty awesome. Obviously 122, I'm not breaking any YouTube records, but if I could say that I doubled my subscribers in the furlough period, that would sound pretty cool, wouldn't it? So if you haven't subscribed already and you want to help a guy out, go down there, hit the subscribe button, drop me a comment if you can, thumbs up, a like would be great, and I will see you guys very soon because we're going to produce 2 or 3 videos for the next couple of weeks if we can before we're out of time and, you know, they become a little more rare. So thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.